My fiancé's ex-girlfriend fell into the sea. After being rescued, she claimed I pushed her. To get back at her, my fiancé locked me in a freezer. Bella can't swim, and you still pushed her into the sea? How could you be so cruel? You'll stay in the freezer to reflect on your actions. We'll let you out once the engagement party begins. I told him I was pregnant and asked him not to lock me in the cold storage room. But he said, "Don't try to play the sympathy card." I watched his retreating figure in despair. He didn't know that his mother had developed aplastic anemia. She has Rh-negative blood, and only I, who also have Rh-negative blood, could save her. Lock her in the freezer until the engagement party starts. I stood on the cruise ship deck, my breath catching as I thought I'd misheard. But Hayden didn't look back at me. "Hayden, have you lost your mind? The banquet is at 10 tomorrow morning, that's a full 12 hours away. I'll freeze to death in here." I roared in disbelief. He glanced down at me. "You deserve punishment for your wrongdoing. Reflect on your actions while you're in there." I didn't push her. I shouted an explanation. She jumped down herself. The surveillance footage will prove it. Enough. He cut me off impatiently. I saw her fall right in front of you. You didn't push her, did she just fall on her own? Bella wiped her tears with a towel. I can't swim. Why would I risk my life? Hayden glared at me. Did you hear that? Bella can't swim, and you still pushed her into the ocean. How could you be so cruel? You can't shut me out, I'm pregnant. I blurted out suddenly. I was planning to tell you tomorrow at the engagement party. He paused, surprise flashing in his eyes. Really? Bella suddenly spoke up timidly. Georgia, by bringing this up now, are you trying to make Hayden brush it off easily? I didn't. I glared at her. Hayden's expression darkened. Georgia, when did you become such a skilled liar? I'm not lying, I'm telling the truth. But Hayden refused to believe her. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Guards, take her to the cold storage. 2 bodyguards came and pinned me down. I struggled. Hayden, I'm really pregnant. You can't lock me up. Take her away. Seeing that he didn't budge an inch, I shouted, my aunt has been diagnosed with aplastic anemia. The doctor says there's no matching bone marrow available for now, only my regular blood transfusions can save her. At that moment, Kennedy walked over and slapped me across the face. What kind of bad luck are you talking about? Cursing me to die young? Hayden sneered coldly, my mother is perfectly healthy. She doesn't need a venomous woman like you feigning kindness. You insisted on attacking Bella, and now you don't even admit your mistake, instead you're spewing lies. You deserve to be locked in the freezer to reflect on your actions. Kennedy snorted coldly, you ruined our engagement party. Using pregnancy as an excuse? I wonder what your parents taught you. Tears streamed down my cheeks as my whole body trembled. Take her away. Hayden waved impatiently. Release her at 10 tomorrow morning, when the banquet begins. Bella gave a light cough, a smile playing at the corners of her mouth, but her eyes were filled with smug satisfaction. Georgia, I'm sorry. I really didn't expect you to be so petty. All these years later, you still don't trust me and Hayden. We're really just friends now, nothing more. I was dragged away, crying. They shoved me into the freezer behind the kitchen. The door slammed shut with a clang and was immediately locked. The cold air hit me, and instantly, my hands and feet began to go numb, my breathing growing rapid. I sat down against the wall, hugging my knees. Soon after, a sharp pain shot through my abdomen. Instinctively, I pressed my hand over the spot where the baby was. The child was only a little over a month old, so vulnerable to miscarriage. I braced myself against the wall to get up, staggering to the door. As I pounded on it, I shouted through the wall intercom. Is anyone there? Let me out. I'm pregnant. I'll lose the baby. Open the door. The walkie-talkie crackled twice. Someone was outside. Who's there? Hurry up and open the door. My stomach hurts so much. The person outside was one of the younger kitchen staff. The voice came through the intercom. President Hayden has instructed us not to open it. I'm his fiancé. I really am pregnant. This could kill someone. He hesitated but didn't dare touch the door. Go find your head chef. Make him talk. I'm begging you. After a while, the head chef came over. I cried and begged him, please, let me out. My stomach hurts so much. I'm afraid I'll miscarry. Miss Georgia, I'm sorry. President Hayden said everything you've said is a lie. Not a word of it can be trusted. I banged on the door, I'm begging you, just let a doctor take a look. I'm not lying, my stomach really hurts. He replied coldly, we can't open the door. If you're really okay, opening it would get us fired by President Hayden. We wouldn't dare. Then the intercom went dead. My heart sank completely. I slid back down to the floor against the door, my legs too stiff to move. The pain in my abdomen grew more intense, as if something inside was convulsing. Gritting my teeth, I reached into my pocket and pulled out the ring. It was the engagement ring Hayden had given me, the design we'd originally agreed to create together. I took the liberty of adding a line, intending to surprise him by telling him it was for our family of 3. Now that I think about it, it's ridiculous. I gazed at the ring on my fingertip and slowly loosened my grip. It fell to the floor with a crisp clink, then lay there in stillness. The cold air assailed me, my body growing colder by the minute. After an unknown span of time, a sudden, sharp pain shot through my abdomen. I curled up, feeling a warm flow slowly seeping from below. It was blood. I panicked, frantically pounding on the door. Let me out. I'm bleeding. Open up, someone. No response. I didn't give up, continuing to pound on the door. Until I couldn't lift my arms or speak. Finally, I collapsed onto the floor, my face pressed against the cold tiles, my entire body numb. Just as my consciousness was fading, a voice came over the walkie-talkie. Who's in there? I mustered my last ounce of strength and shouted almost immediately, help me. Georgia? That was Justin's voice. Justin was an orphan I sponsored, and he was on this cruise ship too. I forced myself to shout, open the door, please, save me. I heard him reply anxiously, wait for me, hang on. Seconds later, the cold storage door was pushed open from the outside. Warm air rushed in instantly, and my vision went dark. I nearly fainted. Georgia. What happened to you? Justin rushed in, his face turning pale at the sight of me covered in blood. He took off his coat to wrap me in it, then crouched down and hoisted me onto his back. Hold on, the kitchen's empty, they're all asleep. I'll take you to a doctor right now. I clung to his back, my lips trembling until they turned purple. Save my baby, save the baby. He ran out while shouting at the top of his lungs. Is anyone there? Doctor. Doctor. I closed my eyes, finally unable to hold on any longer. It was late at night on the ship, and most of the staff had gone to rest. He slipped through the crew passageway and found a waiter still cleaning. Quick. Take us to the medical station. She's bleeding. The waiter took one look at me covered in blood and took a step back in fright. The doctors aren't here. What do you mean they're not here? Justin shouted anxiously. All the doctors have been sent to cabin 1. President Hayden said Miss Bella fell into the water and is suffering from hypothermia, requiring special attention. He's reassigned all the doctors over there. She just has a cold? Justin nearly gritted his teeth. Yeah, seems like she has a fever. President Hayden said there can't be any mistakes. I listened to their voices, my mind a chaotic whirl, my ears ringing. The child couldn't wait any longer. I tried to speak, but when I opened my mouth, only the taste of blood surged up my throat. She needs emergency hemostasis now, she needs a doctor. Justin growled, get someone back here immediately. One person is enough. I can't make that call. President Hayden said. Get out of my way. Justin hesitated no longer, charging straight toward the stern deck where the lifeboats were stored. He lifted me into the boat, settled me into the seat, pulled down the emergency rope, and the hull slid smoothly into the sea. Hang in there, Georgia, I'll get you back to shore in no time. Justin took off his hoodie and wrapped it around me completely, then covered my abdomen with a thermal blanket. As he started the engine, he dialed the hospital emergency center. The other party responded quickly, saying they would reach the shore within half an hour. Georgia, hang in there. I've already notified the hospital emergency center. You'll be okay. I wanted to say thank you, but I plunged into complete darkness. When I woke up again, I was lying in a hospital bed. Georgia, you're awake. It's Justin. I strained to turn my head toward him. The baby. He lowered his gaze, his voice barely a whisper, yet I heard him clearly. The baby didn't make it. In that instant, it felt like a blunt instrument had struck my chest with brutal force. I closed my eyes as tears slid down my cheeks and into the pillow. Because you were in the cold storage for too long, the blood loss was severe. The doctor said the uterus has suffered irreversible damage. My fingers trembled. You might not be able to get pregnant again. His voice cracked as he spoke. I felt utterly drained, staring blankly at the ceiling. Just moments ago, I'd been imagining what our family of 3 would look like once the baby arrived. Justin, seeing I hadn't spoken, snapped angrily, he's trying to destroy you for that other woman. Georgia, he doesn't deserve you. Even Justin could tell Bella and Hayden weren't friends at all. I let out a laugh. How foolish of me to have trusted them all this time. But now, with my child gone, my heart is utterly dead. I lowered my eyes. He truly doesn't deserve it. Justin stood up. Sis Georgia, don't argue with him. I clutched the blanket tightly and said calmly, lend me your phone. He handed it over immediately. I dialed a familiar number. A cold, indifferent voice answered, hello? Who is this? Hearing his familiar voice, I couldn't help but cry out. It's me. Georgia? His tone grew urgent. What's wrong? I want to go home. There was a pause on the other end. Where are you? Binhai Hospital, East Branch. Wait for me. I'll come get you. His voice was icy cold. On the cruise ship, the engagement party was about to begin. Hayden and Bella had just stepped out of cabin number 1. Bella linked her arm through his, her makeup flawless and her complexion rosy. Hayden turned to instruct his assistant waiting by the door. Go get Georgia out of there. Tell her to get dressed quickly, don't delay the engagement. The assistant acknowledged the order and headed toward the kitchen. Hayden led Bella into the banquet hall. Guests took their seats one by one, murmurs filling the room. With these 2 powerhouses joining forces, no one in the circle will dare cross them from now on. Hey, where's the bride? The ceremony's about to start and she's nowhere to be seen? Backstage, the MC was adjusting the sound and testing the mic while the stage manager rushed the proceedings. Hayden glanced at his watch, his brow furrowing slightly. Why isn't she here yet? Kennedy looked equally impatient. Are we going through with this wedding or not? If not, stop wasting time, might as well just die in a freezer. Bella cleared her throat twice and said softly, she's not still upset with me, is she? She's not coming, right? Hayden's expression darkened. She messed up and now she's throwing a tantrum? She'd better come whether she likes it or not. Just as he was about to send men to escort me over, the banquet hall doors suddenly swung open. The assistant rushed in breathlessly, President Hayden, it's bad. The entire room fell silent instantly. Hayden turned his head, his tone growing somber. What's going on? His assistant gasped for breath, flustered. There's a lot of blood in the cold storage, but Miss Georgia is missing. The banquet hall erupted in an uproar. Guests rose to their feet, murmuring among themselves. What? Blood? Someone missing? Was this about Georgia? Hayden's brow furrowed, his expression darkening. Don't talk nonsense. What could possibly happen to her? The assistant wiped his brow. President Hayden, it's true. The freezer door behind the kitchen was open, and there was blood all over the floor, but no one was there. Kennedy snapped, what nonsense are you spouting? If you don't believe me, go see for yourself. Hayden snorted coldly, pushed through the crowd, and strode quickly toward the aft cabin. Kennedy's expression also shifted as he followed. Bella trailed behind, her expression complex, coughing softly as she walked. The cold storage door stood wide open, cold air still pouring out relentlessly. Bloodstains on the floor were horrifying to behold, a crimson trail stretching from the corner all the way to the doorway. A ring lay on the ground, starkly visible in a pool of blood. Hayden picked it up, his expression changing instantly. This is our engagement ring. He also noticed the 3 letters I had specially engraved on the inside of the ring. It was the name they had chosen for their child during their dreamy conversations about the future, a name that would suit either a boy or a girl. The moment Hayden saw the letters, it hit him. A dull ache shot through his chest. Clenching the ring, he bellowed, "Where's the surveillance footage?" His assistant immediately handed him the tablet. The footage fast-forwarded. I lay on the floor, curled up, pale-faced, my legs soaked in bright red blood. I struggled to pound on the door, but finally couldn't even lift my hand. My entire body convulsed as I collapsed. A few minutes later, a figure burst into view. It was Justin. He led me out. The surveillance feed froze on that frame, showing blood spreading across the floor in a horrifying sight. Hayden's face turned deathly pale. Kennedy swayed slightly. My grandson, she really is pregnant. Bella cut in at that moment. She couldn't possibly have been in cahoots with Justin all along, could she? Otherwise, why would he be in such a rush to save her? Look how practiced his movements are. Has she been sleeping with him all along? Otherwise, running off like this, it's just too strange. Enough. Hayden roared, his eyes freezing cold. Georgia wouldn't cheat. She wouldn't risk her life and the child inside her. Bella's face paled, her voice weakening. I just worry you'll be deceived. He wouldn't deceive me. Hayden realized this only after speaking. Everything I said yesterday was true. He panicked. Quick. Check the surveillance footage from the entire cruise ship. Find out where they are. Yes. Soon enough, he discovered that Justin had taken me away in a lifeboat. He immediately ordered, turn back. Turn back immediately. Contact the hospital and find out where Georgia is, now. Kennedy also said, check with the hospital, did they save the baby? How is she? Bella felt a bit flustered and grabbed Hayden's arm. Today's the engagement party. It's not right to just turn back like this, is it? She's not even here, what's the point of an engagement? Hayden roared. Bella suggested, then maybe I should cover for you first. Hayden suddenly fixed his gaze on Bella, cutting her off mid-sentence. Was it really her who pushed you yesterday? His tone was laced with doubt. Kennedy stared at her skeptically. Bella paused, then nodded. Of course not. Why would I lie to you about something like that? Hayden gritted his teeth. You better not be lying to me. But half an hour later, he knew they had been deceived. Hayden still doubted Bella and had someone check the surveillance footage. The recording clearly showed Bella jumping into the sea all by herself when no one was around. After watching it, the color drained completely from Hayden's face. He slammed his fist hard against the wall and growled, "You're messing with me?" Bella took a step back, her voice trembling. I just wanted to see if you cared about me. I never thought things would turn out like this. Hayden's eyes flashed red as he raised his hand and slapped her across the face. If you hadn't slandered her, I never would have locked her in the cold storage. She's pregnant, and it's freezing out there. If anything happens to her or the baby, I won't let you off the hook. Bella opened her mouth, but no words came out. The assistant entered with a phone in hand. President Hayden, Miss Georgia is at Binhai Hospital. The doctor said she was barely saved when she was rushed there last night. And, she lost the baby. Miss Georgia's uterus was damaged, and she can no longer conceive. Hayden's footsteps halted, his voice instantly hoarse. My child. Georgia. Kennedy lashed out at Bella like a madwoman. You bitch. Give me back my grandson. Give me back my grandson. Bella screamed, beaten until she wept. Just then, Kennedy suddenly stopped in her tracks, clutching her chest and breathing heavily. Mom. Hayden rushed over, but Kennedy collapsed unconscious before he could reach her. Hayden immediately called for a doctor. After examining her, the doctor diagnosed Kennedy with symptoms of anemia and stated she urgently needed a blood transfusion. Hayden's mind exploded with a buzzing roar. George's words before being locked in the cold storage flashed through his mind. Auntie was diagnosed with aplastic anemia. The doctor said there's no matching bone marrow available for now. Only my regular blood transfusions can save her. His expression darkened instantly, and he immediately ordered the crew to speed up their return. As soon as they reached the dock, he rushed by car to the coastal hospital. After settling Kennedy in, the doctor informed him, your mother has a rare blood type, but yesterday we used up all the Rh-negative blood in our inventory to save a young woman who had suffered a miscarriage. Now we can only find someone with that blood type to donate, but people with that type are extremely rare. Currently, it seems only Miss Georgia has it, the patient we resuscitated yesterday. Hayden's face instantly drained of color. You mean, who? He croaked. Georgia, the doctor repeated. During yesterday's emergency procedure, the hospital used the last remaining supply of Rh-negative blood. She lost so much blood, if it hadn't been a perfect match, she might have. Before the doctor could finish, he froze solid. It was all his fault. If he hadn't locked me in the cold storage room, I wouldn't have miscarried and bled out, and we wouldn't have depleted the hospital's blood supply. Kennedy would have had blood to transfuse today. Hayden also expected me to donate blood. After asking for my room number, she immediately rushed out. But at the door, she was stopped by a nurse. Sir, Miss Georgia has requested no visitors. I'm her fiancé. My mother desperately needs her blood to save her life, I must see her. The nurse paused, then regained her composure. Miss Georgia has instructed us not to see anyone seeking blood from her. She also said she won't save anyone. Hayden froze in place. No rescue, she said. No blood donation, no visits. The nurse repeated. Hayden's face darkened inch by inch. I just want to see her once, say a few words, just a few words. This is a matter of life and death. I'm sorry, she made it very clear she refuses to meet. Hayden gritted his teeth, ultimately saying nothing, and turned to leave. Back in the hospital room, Kennedy remained unconscious on the bed. The doctor sighed repeatedly. If we can't find a matching blood type soon, we'll have to rely on aggressive medication to keep him going. It's uncertain how long he can last. Hayden leaned against the wall outside the hospital room, saying nothing. The nurse emerged from inside and said Kennedy had woken up. He walked in. Kennedy looked at him, his voice weak. Did you find the blood? Hayden hesitated, then shook his head. Still trying. Isn't Georgia Rh negative? She asked. His voice was low. She refused. Why wouldn't she save me? I'm her future mother-in-law, how could she be so heartless? Hayden's eyes reddened. Mom. If we hadn't distrusted her, causing her to miscarry and nearly freeze to death, she wouldn't be refusing us today. Kennedy's face stiffened, and she fell silent. Meanwhile, in the East Ward of Binhai Hospital, I was propped up in the hospital bed, pale but with a steady gaze. My older brother Garrett sat beside me, still clutching the report. Did Hayden come by? He asked. My tone was flat. Yeah, but I didn't see him. My brother looked at me, his expression softening. Not seeing him was the right thing to do. Someone like him doesn't deserve to see you again. I nodded. The baby is gone, and I can't have another one. I stared out the window. My brother comforted me, you still have me. I'll find the best doctor to treat you. Brother. I couldn't hold back my tears. I don't want to stay in this city anymore. I'll make the arrangements. My brother asked me, when do you want to leave? Tonight. All right. My brother stood up. He looked at me and said, he hurt you so badly, I won't let him off the hook. Brother, do whatever you want. I don't care anymore. I understand. Hayden mobilized nearly all available resources. He contacted blood banks, private banks, even overseas sources, but to no avail. Rh-negative blood was scarce, and even scarcer was the type compatible with Kennedy. He personally made dozens of calls, staying up all night. Under my brother's direction, Bella's self-staged video was uploaded online. It included her falsely accusing me and my being locked in a cold storage room, though my face was pixelated. Within just a few minutes, the video shot to the top of the trending charts in under an hour. One stone set off 1,000 ripples. Netizens flooded the comments section. What a spectacle, diving into the sea to frame someone else. What a ruthless person. His fiancée is pregnant, yet he still had her locked in a cold storage room. Is Hayden even human? It made my hair stand on end, a newly pregnant woman locked in a cold storage room for so long? That's nothing short of murder. Meanwhile, my own near-fatal miscarriage and refusal to save Kennedy have trended online. But netizens are all on my side. Georgia was beaten to a pulp, how could anyone expect her to save someone? Do they really think human life is cheap? Hayden doesn't deserve it, he got what he deserved. Please, don't forgive him. Under the pressure of public opinion, the company's stock plummeted. Hayden was summoned to an emergency board meeting where directors demanded answers. In the end, Hayden simply stated, I'll handle it. Bella's past affairs with professors during her studies abroad were dug up by netizens, who also exposed her frequent appearances at dinners hosted by multiple wealthy circles. Photos, itineraries, and chat screenshots have been continuously leaked. The proof is in. She was nothing but a gold digger who used her looks to lure rich men into bed, utterly worthless. Overnight, everyone turned on her. Hayden had a hand in this too. He hated Bella, everything was Bella's fault. That night, he ordered her locked in the cold storage too. You should get a taste of what Georgia went through. Bella cried and begged for mercy, but it was all in vain. Hayden stood outside my hospital room at the seaside for a full 4 hours. My brother finally couldn't take it anymore and got up, saying to me, I'll send him away. I nodded and turned my head to look out the window. At the doorway, I heard Hayden say, I just want to see her once. My brother's voice was icy, you don't deserve to see her. Hayden hurriedly added, I know I was wrong. I want to apologize to her in person. My brother said coldly, her condition is stable now. She doesn't need anyone disturbing her. I'm her fiancé. Hayden's voice was hoarse. My brother sneered, we're beneath her. The engagement is off. Hayden's fingers tightened. No. It can't be cancelled. I can admit my mistake, I can make it up to you, let me do anything, My brother cut him off. Shut up. You made Georgia infertile for life. You say you'll make it up to her? How exactly do you plan to make it up? My brother barked, get out. Hayden lowered his head, then suddenly looked up and shouted into the hospital room, Georgia, I was wrong. Please let me see you. After all these years together, can you really be so heartless? My brother flew into a rage and punched Hayden right in the face. I'll make you crawl out of here, he bellowed. Hearing the commotion, I turned toward the doorway. Seconds later, I got out of bed and approached the door. Brother. Georgia, why are you out here? Hayden saw my eyes light up. Georgia, I was wrong. I'm here to apologize. Please forgive me. Give me one more chance. I looked at him coldly. Hayden, it's over. Don't come looking for me again. Hayden paused. Georgia, won't you give me even a single chance? He dropped to his knees with a thud. I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed our child. Georgia, please forgive me. Just this once, I truly know I was wrong. He bowed his head and wept with heart-wrenching anguish. I remained unmoved. Hayden, the moment you stopped trusting me and insisted on locking me in that cold storage room, you lost your chance. Get out. I turned and walked into the ward without another glance at him. My brother snorted coldly and slammed the door shut. On the day I left, the police took Bella and Hayden away. The charges included intentional assault, unlawful detention, and multiple financial offenses such as corporate fraud and embezzlement. The evidence was irrefutable and beyond dispute. I was abroad when the court handed down the verdict. My brother called to tell me. Hayden got 25 years, and Bella got 10. He also said, Mom died too. They couldn't get blood from the blood bank in time, so they couldn't save her. I didn't react at all. It's none of my business anymore. My brother paused and said, Hayden had someone tell me he wants to see you. I won't see him. But a few days later, a package arrived at my home. When I opened it, I found the ring I had thrown away, still bearing dried bloodstains. I let out a soft chuckle and tossed the ring into the trash can. After recovering my health, I opened a jewelry design studio abroad. Justin saved me and was brought into the logistics department by my brother. 6 months later, he voluntarily applied to come overseas. I want to come take care of Georgia, he said. My brother nodded his approval. And so he became my personal assistant. A year later, my personal jewelry brand Y.L had gained some recognition in the industry. Another half-year passed, and I adopted a little girl named Lily. She was 5 years old, with eyes as pure as crystal. When I first met her, she reminded me so much of myself back then. When she first arrived, she timidly asked me, Auntie, will you abandon me? I held her close and said, Never. From now on, we're family, a family that will always be together. She smiled like the spring sunshine. We lived together, watering the flowers in the morning and painting and reading stories in the evening. Lily called me Mom and called Justin Uncle, and life gradually settled into a steady rhythm. One evening, I took Lily for a walk by the sea. We strolled hand in hand along the sandy shore. She carried a small bucket for shells, picking them up as she went and turning back to smile at me. Mommy, this one's so cute. The setting sun bathed the entire sea in a golden red glow. A breeze blew in, neither cold nor warm, just right. I turned my head and saw Justin standing not far away, camera in hand. He raised his hand to take our picture, capturing this moment. I held Lily's hand as we walked slowly forward, our footsteps leaving deep and shallow prints on the damp sand. We were walking toward our hopeful future.